We are here at the Paul versus Woodley Open Workouts here in downtown Cleveland.
Just days out from the fight when the unbeaten Jake Paul takes on former UFC welterweight champ Tyron Woodley.
This is not an exhibition. This is a pro boxing contest.
Bigger, younger, stronger in Jake, but Tyron's got some of those things that you can't learn in the gym.
Tyron, the chosen one. You said this out loud. People are coming up to you saying you got to knock this guy out.
This is a war to me. This is gangship.
3-0 with 3 knockouts.
The problem child, Jake.
When I beat him, there will be no excuses because he was trained by Floyd Mayweather.
This Sunday night, August 29th, only on Showtime pay-per-view.
You should expect violence.
A movie, a knockout.
I'm going out there to hurt this kid.
I'm going to turn him into a meme.
Every punch, violence.
We are live in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, and now just minutes away from today's press conference for Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. Hello, everyone. My name is Luke Thomas. This is Brian Campbell. We're the hosts of Morning Combat, but we're going to get you ready before we throw it to Brian Custer for today's press conference. BC, we were at yesterday's open workout, and there was a lot about what kind of physical preparation, examinations we could make from afar. Both guys appear to be in great shape, as well as the rest of the card as well. But today, it seems, is this the last chance for the mind games to play a role?
I think that's a very smart way to look at it. Jake Paul is a troll by nature, so whatever you think of his chances coming in, and you look at the odds makers, it's very close right now. You wonder if the mental edge, something he has a great job of getting in people's heads, attracting fights with so many different names across the fight sphere, whether these fights are realistic or not. People want to see this guy. Some people want to see this guy go down. This will be the last chance for the two fighters to try to plant those seeds just days out from this fight. Special night, Sunday night, special time, 8 p.m. Eastern for this pay-per-view. And Luke, a special example of what this subgenre of pay-per-view boxing can be. It's a little bit celebrity, it's a little bit crossover, it's a little bit of mixing multiple worlds together with Woodley and the MMA background. I'm interested to see what kind of words and mind traps they exchange, just as much as I'm interested in figuring out who's going to win this fight. And I think that's the most attractive part of this. We really have no idea coming in.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone who says they know what's going to happen, it isn't to say that they're wrong. I just feel like there's a strong degree of unpredictability here, BC. And also, it's kind of funny. Jake Paul only has 3 fights. This will be his 4th professional contest. Remember, this is not an exhibition. This is a real pro fight. I'm thinking back on Tyron Woodley's career. Now, he had words with Conor McGregor at the UFC 205, I think, weigh-ins or press conference that day. But when I think about his opponents, BC, I don't think he's ever had an opponent, certainly not the UFC level, that ever antagonized him this way, that ever dared him to get a tattoo if he lost, that ever got in his face and said the kinds of things he was saying about, collect all you can on the sponsorships. This is your last hurrah. Is there anything analogous from his UFC run that compares to this?
Really, it doesn't. I think the only comparison is in getting a chance to sit down with Tyron yesterday, as we did. Not only is he cut up for being relatively around our age, which is a real indictment.
Yeah, there was a real difference in our
on our personal choices right there. But just that he was so calm and confident that almost saying, look, everyone out there, you got this wrong. Okay, maybe they did exchange words. Maybe they'll do that today in a few minutes behind us. But in terms of the size disadvantage or the perceived one, with this fight being a 8-round, 190-pound catchweight fight, right in that light heavyweight, cruiserweight gap in terms of boxing terms, we thought, well, Woodley's campaigned at 170 in his MMA career. At welterweight, what about that weight difference? What about that 4 inches of difference? Woodley says, it's not a difference at all. This is my walking around weight. So it just adds further to the conversation that both guys are rightfully expecting this to be the toughest challenges of their boxing career. For Woodley, this is day 1 of his boxing career, more or less. No amateur background, his first professional fight, his first time focusing this directly on this one skill set. But with both of them not having the proven track record, yet having a short history, or in Woodley's case, a longer, detailed MMA version of this history of being able to deliver that knockout blow. We talked just a minute ago about the mind games. Anything could give them the edge over the one. We talk about Woodley did camp with Floyd Mayweather. What can that give them the edge? Literally, when it's this close in terms of matchmaking and questions that still need to be answered, anything could lift the other one up.
No doubt about it. And we were talking here about Jake Paul and his mind games and whatnot. Still, it deserves to be noted, while Woodley hasn't had to face this kind of an opponent who can do the kinds of things he's probably going to do at the press conference here just minutes away, on the other hand, Jake Paul has never had an opponent yes, Ben Askren was experienced, but Tyron Woodley is very experienced in MMA. And frankly, I would argue at a higher level. He was a defending UFC welterweight champion. He has been in places that not only has Jake Paul never been, Jake Paul's never had an opponent who can even come close to the kinds of heights in competitive combat sports endeavors that Tyron Woodley has had.
Absolutely, and that means that we already know intangibly in terms of the foundation of who Tyron Woodley is as a fighter. We already know he's got a chin. We already know he's tough. We already know there's a will to win, to persevere through some tough times. I think the fun part from an entertainment value of the questions not answered yet from Jake Paul through 3 professional bouts, 4 rounds, 3 knockouts, and maybe not the type of competition level that the boxing purists can embrace and understand, but this is Jake stepping out of that and going up to a higher level. This is certainly, without question, the biggest threat that he has faced, a guy that has the capability of knocking him out. But what I want to see even more than that, I know they're both going to have one-punch power. I assume we're going to see action based on the personalities between them and the inexperience, if you will, on the boxing side. I want to see, though, what Tyron Woodley's transferable skills become, though, as a boxer, beyond just that looping right hand, which was a knockout punch for him in MMA. He won the UFC welterweight title 5 years ago, knocking out Robbie Lawler with a beautiful right hand. Time done with Floyd Mayweather, time done in camp with the great Cuban trainer Pedro Diaz. Can he transform that into a jab, into combinations, into swiveling and moving? We could end up being really surprised at how easily he made that transition because of these foundational elements we're talking about.
Well, I'll talk more about that in just a minute. Let me set the table, if we can, for just a second. If you want to purchase the pay-per-view, now's a great time. Remember, it will air on Sunday, not Saturday, starting at 8 p.m. in the East. You can go to SHO.com/PPV. You can see there's the URL underneath my sweat-stained shirt. And as well, if you're in the Cleveland area or you're going to be, you can go to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and there are some tickets still available. Now, BC, you mentioned something about Tyron Woodley and what kind of advantages he might be able to confer upon him based on the fact that he has some striking background in mixed martial arts. Still, let me posit maybe a slightly different scenario. Tactically and strategically, there are going to be some really important questions for him here. Does he try to go for broke in saying this guy's only got 3 fights? If I put pressure on him early, this will get him out? Or does he try to play the slow game and draw him into the 5th, 6th rounds before then applying the pressure? What makes the most sense for Tyron Woodley given his overall competitive advantage and maybe some of the physical tools that he brings as well?
This is why it's going to be so intriguing to find out how these game plans are played out and whether these game plans, by the way, can be shaken up, let's say by getting hit with a big shot earlier, led into a brawl. But foundationally, what we're saying, what we already know about Tyron Woodley is he does have the fighting spirit, the fight IQ, the professionalism, the experience, and on top of this, he's also got the proven stamina, too. I mean, he's a 5-round championship-level fighter in the UFC. Could it benefit him should this be more of a boxing match that pushes more towards the 6th, 7th, 8th round, where we can find out a lot more about Jake Paul than Tyron Woodley? My question is, though, what I just teased, if Woodley gets hit with a big bomb early, if Jake Paul is saying, he may have a little bit of edge on me in certain expertise areas here, but I am the naturally bigger guy. And also, I'm a bit of a daredevil. Jake Paul is fun to watch because he goes after it. I wonder if you can pull Woodley from that game plan. I wonder what happens. Is the more skilled guy going to win this, or is it just the guy more willing to go for it, Luke? At this level of boxing, you can never really be sure. It can be a wild card. It can be some fun outcomes. I think that's all part of the juice that's heading into Sunday night. It's not a traditional boxing match by any means, even though Jake Paul has been working hard. It's been part of his plan to try to win over those purists, those hardcores on the boxing side have been a little like, get away from me. But in a transitioning point, Jake's not backing away from what he thinks he can do for those same boxing purists by providing a big platform that makes boxing headline news again, and then this whole fight about fighter pay. Because he's not just talking about the UFC MMA side, he's talking about taking less money to give to people on this card, the championship fighters that are fighting below him, like Amanda Serrano in the co-main event, more money than they've ever made. I'm not trying to paint Jake Paul here as like the patron saint Robin Hood, but he's certainly not trying to just take from boxing and give nothing back. And I think that's an interesting sort of sub-storyline heading in as we try to figure out who's going to win this fight.
You asked him yesterday, of all of the critics you've had to overcome, of all the audiences you've had to convert to your side, which one remains the holdout? And the answer was, as you had kind of indicated with the question, it's the boxing purists. There's certainly the MMA fans watching this who will probably not be converted one way or the other. But even I was somebody who was skeptical of him. And again, I'm not here to say he's a championship-level boxer. He's pretty far from it. But he is taking it seriously, and he is sort of committed to the craft, and he has escalated the various levels of challenges, this being the chief among them. Still, I want to sort of reflect on yesterday, if we can, a little bit, BC. What was your biggest takeaway, good and bad? Let me start, if I may, with Tyron Woodley. Here's the good that I saw. He came in phenomenal shape. He looks to be in excellent condition. From what I'm hearing, the training has gone phenomenally well, given all the things that it can. That's what I liked. But what I didn't like was when I asked him what happened in the end of UFC run, he was saying, well, I kind of got caught up in the lifestyle. True. But there was no acknowledgement that 40 is different than 30, is different than 25. I think that plays a role, too. What did you pick up on?
I picked up on certainly what I mentioned earlier, Woodley's just overall calmness in this moment. You don't see those nerves of, like, will I be able to cross over into this new sport? Will this opponent who people want to think is nothing, even though there's something there, boxing-wise, in Jake Paul. We've seen that through 3 fights, regardless of the matchmaking, and certainly answers, questions need to be answered this Sunday night. But, Tyron just seems so calm. There could be something in being too calm, going in there and not giving your opponent the full amount of respect. Of course, we're going to find that out when they touch gloves, but I liked Woodley's confidence in that regard. And with Jake, he knows that he's the big moneymaker. He knows that he needs, if he can keep winning, and if he can keep winning spectacularly, that opponent list in terms of names can only get higher and higher. He's talking a lot about Jorge Masvidal. He hasn't shied away from putting McGregor's name out there, even though he doesn't think it could happen, or even Canelo's name, for better or for worse. We know Tommy Fury is on this undercard. So look, Jake Paul, I love the homecoming angle. I love the confidence he's shown, but it almost feels like, even though Woodley's the toughest fight of his career and we're not really sure who's going to win, the business machine almost has Tommy Fury on the pay-per-view main card, the half-brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. Yeah. That could be a tough future test. So it's like Jake's not just the fighter here. He's almost half promoter, half wheeling and dealing, half setting the future for the matchmaking. It's very interesting.
The Tommy Fury angle is interesting here because if you read UK media, that's all they're really talking about. Look at any interview with Tommy Fury from a month or two ago, and all the questions are about Jake Paul. We asked Jake Paul about it. But what's kind of funny is Tommy Fury's response yesterday, BC, was, listen, there's YouTube boxing and then there's me. Don't confuse the two. That he would take on Jake Paul. Obviously, it's a big fight. I think anyone would say as much. He said he could sell 50,000 tickets or more if the fight was staged in the UK.
Easy, he said easy.
Easy, yeah. But he was trying to draw a distinction. In a similar vein, we asked Jake Paul about it, and he was, what do you want to say, lukewarm about the idea? It didn't exactly seem to him to be the best one, because he said that while Tommy Fury might be an interesting challenge for this reason or another, he's not going to move pay-per-views like a Jorge Masvidal might. So what I'm trying to say is, BC, media has created this angle. Both fighters seem like moderately willing, but they didn't seem like they were very gung-ho about it.
Well, it seems like, from Jake's perspective, he needs to see the attention that's going to be brought to Tommy. He's got both the split attention of being Tyson Fury's younger brother, but of having the Love Island reality TV background in the UK, a tabloid sensation. He wants to see how the American audience is going to accept that and embrace that. And that could be an interesting matchup moving forward, because Tommy Fury, although 6-0 as a pro, still hasn't yet established and identified himself as more of legitimate fighter trying to be great than just guy with a name, guy with a platform. So this is a great test for him. He'll be taking on Anthony Taylor on this pay-per-view main card, who is a fighter with MMA and pro boxing experience, is also a sparring partner in the Paul camp. So you sort of got the beginning of storylines being built. But before we can even talk about a Masvidal or any future opponent like that, you got to get through Tyron Woodley. And Luke, I could not have, as a whole, I mentioned his confidence, which I liked. We both mentioned, he's in great shape. But I could not have just been more impressed overall. After talking to him, you got the feeling that he's not going to go in there necessarily with just one punch, that there's going to be a game plan and an execution, and that physically he may still be able to deliver that at a very high level.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, even in his last UFC fight, we talked about it, the UFC run that he had at the end, it was not a particularly great one. He lost 4 in a row, and he was getting stopped, and then he was getting injured into the Colby Covington fights and beyond. But in the Vicente Luque fight, his last one, he did show a competitive fire, BC. He didn't win the contest. Luque, by the way, is maybe at the top of his game and one of the best welterweights in the planet. Nevertheless, he rocked Luque early. And here's the thing about it. Luque, unlike Jake Paul, is an extremely experienced competitor and a decorated striker in his own right, certainly within the mixed martial arts contests. He knows what to do if he gets rocked. The question is going to be, does Jake Paul really have that competitive instinct that he's going to need if a guy like Tyron Woodley lands on him? No one knows, but I am very curious to find that out.
And then as the fighters are sitting down behind us and lining up and prepared, they will speak in just a matter of moments. But, I also think in that slide for Woodley, some of that was a mental. Some of that was a failure to pull the trigger and launch. So he's got a new opportunity in a new sport and a very high platform with the lights shining bright Sunday night on Showtime pay-per-view to prove to us that it was an aberration, that there was a hiccup in the training and the focus, whatever. we're not talking as much about where does he go from here. Tyron Woodley says he's not here at age 40 just for one payday. He's here to prove that he can be a legitimate crossover boxer. So he has a lot to prove beyond let's just end the Paul hype. Let's get that big money bag. You got a guy who's trying to can get bigger fights moving forward in the future. And this is also an option in this day and age in the connection with boxing and MMA, separate sports, but sometimes they bump up against each other. A lot of the ways they bump up is the big money you can make sliding over from MMA and boxing. We've seen that talked about endlessly in the headlines.
It's so funny to watch, too, as well, BC. Actually, you know what? We'll put a pin in this conversation. We'll talk more about this after the press conference, but one more reminder, show.com/pay-per-view if you would like to purchase it. Or again, the fights are going to be on Sunday, not on Saturday. They will start at 8 p.m. in the East. And, of course, it will take place at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Tickets are still available if you'd like. All right, with that, let's go to the man who is hosting today's press conference, Brian Custer.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Buckeye State, also known as Cleveland, Ohio, Believe Land, or commonly known as the Land. This is the final press conference for Paul versus Woodley. I'm Brian Custer. I'm the host of Showtime Championship Boxing. And Paul versus Woodley, main event of a stacked card of boxing. It is presented by Showtime Pay-Per-View, Most Valuable Promotions, along with Holden Productions. And it all goes down Sunday, August 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern. That is 5 o'clock Pacific time on Showtime Pay-Per-View. Now, you can purchase the fight right now if you want through Showtime.com. The Showtime app is also available through all the major cable satellite providers here in the U.S. and Canada as well. And you will see the problem child, Jake Paul, biggest fight of his career thus far, and he's taking on the former UFC world champion, Tyron, the chosen one, Woodley. The co-feature, arguably, pound for pound, the best female fighter in the world, the unified featherweight champion, Amanda, the real deal Serrano, defending her straps against the super bantamweight champion, Yamaleth Mercado. You'll also see the U.S. debut of the UK's two most popular attractions, the heavyweight, Daniel Dubois, and Tommy Fury, who, of course, is the brother of the heavyweight champion, Tyson Fury. In this event, all goes down at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Tickets still available. You can get them at rocketmortgagefieldhouse.com. This fight is really a continuation here of Showtime Championship Boxing, what we are calling our sizzling summer of delivering fight fans unification, championship, high, meaningful fights, as well as entertainment. And the man with the master plan is the president and the GM of Showtime Sports. He's Mr. Steven Espinoza.
Thank you, Brian. I'd like to start by thanking Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, the Ohio Athletic Commission, and Barstool Sportsbook, all of whom were instrumental in bringing this event to fruition. You know, Showtime has been in boxing a long time. It's got a long history in the sport. But the thing about boxing is it has a way of always surprising you. Just when you think you've seen it all, along comes someone like Jake Paul and upsets the apple cart and changes everything. And personally, I find it exciting. It's exciting to see the sport change and innovate and evolve. And it's exciting to be here today on this card. And personally, I'm very proud of this card. We've got some of the best fighters in the world, from world champions to a promising up-and-coming welterweight to some really, for promising up-and-coming heavyweight to some really promising prospects. This card has a little bit of everything. But the other thing about this card is it's filled with fighters that didn't listen when they were told no. We have two young women, one from Puerto Rico, one from Chihuahua, Mexico, who didn't say no when they were told that they couldn't become professional boxers. We have two young men who left their country to pursue their dreams, and Ivan Baranchik leaving Belarus and Joe Cusimano in Sicily. You had Charles Conwell, well documented his challenges. You know, Anthony Taylor and Tommy Fury in their journeys. And of course, there's Jake Paul, who didn't listen when they said he couldn't become a pro boxer. And Tyron Woodley, 11th of 13 kids, didn't listen to those who said he couldn't become an MMA fighter, and then didn't listen when they said he couldn't box either. No one on this card has been handed anything. They've all beaten the odds, and I'm proud to have each and every one of them on this card. But the great thing about boxing is that all of this, on some level, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because, to borrow a phrase, boxing don't lie. Boxing is the ultimate truth teller. The ring is the ultimate truth teller. So when Sunday night rolls around, on some level, none of this matters. You know, your resume doesn't matter. Your social media followers, your social media audience doesn't matter. The UFC belts doesn't matter. The 9 titles in 7 different weight divisions doesn't matter. Your fan base in the UK, none of that matters. Because, again, boxing is the ultimate truth teller. So for all the hype and the hoopla, all the all access in the social media, make no mistake, these are fights. At the end of the day, these are fights, the purest form of competition. And the great thing about boxing, when two competitors enter that ring, each time they enter that ring Sunday night, they get a chance to rewrite their own history. Doesn't matter what happened last week, last month, last year. Doesn't matter where you came from, who you lost to, who you beat. It all comes down to that moment of truth Saturday night with two fighters in the ring. And I can't wait. Thank you all.
Thank you, Stephen, and thank you for your vision. Let me bring here to the podium, too, the co-producer of this event. He is the founder of Most Valuable Promotions. He is Jake Paul.
What's up, everybody? Man, this is exciting times. Cleveland, bringing it home. Big week of business. First and foremost, I want to thank Steven Espinoza and Showtime. Everyone's been super, super amazing. And when we partnered with Showtime, we knew that this was going to be a massive event. You know, they're the best in the business, and that's why Most Valuable Promotions, Nikisa and myself, we made the decision to go with Showtime. And seems like it's going well. Pre-buys on track, like the Floyd Mayweather-Logan Paul event. I texted Floyd last night. I said, got your pre-buys. So this one is turning into a historic moment. I want to thank everyone for being here. Great week of business. My venture capital fund, Anti-Fund, leading a $30 million Series C round into Simple Bet. Want to thank Barstool Sportsbook, Dave Portnoy. Shout out to you guys for being the main sponsor. And, you know, today is actually Women's Equality Day. So I told my mom this morning how much I love her. Told my girlfriend, she's right there, how much I love her. And shout out to all the amazing women out there. And for this whole week, Amanda Serrano was saying, like, oh, I'm on the card, I'm on the card. To me, it didn't seem right that she was just saying she was on the card. So I want to make her the co-main event. Talk to Showtime about it. We're making Amanda the co-main event. And she's deserving of that. She's one of the greatest to ever do it. So happy Women's Equality Day, and let's start this press conference off.
So let's get right into it. All of you are here to hear from the fighters. That's what we're going to do. And, of course, to start the card off, Cleveland's going to get a treat because they're going to get one of their homies. Native Clevelander. This guy was in the 2016 Olympics. Charles Conwell. Unbeaten. 15-0. and 11 of his wins have come by knockout. And he's taken on another unbeaten fighter. And Juan Carlos Rubio, 18-0. 9 of his victories have come by knockout. And Charles, we'll start with you. You know, let the people know, A, what does it mean to be fighting back here at home, fighting on this card? What should they expect come Sunday night?
Hey, everyone. Y'all hear me? All right. Yeah, it's amazing to fight back at home in the city, bringing it back home. I got a lot of local support back here at home. I know a lot of people that doesn't get to see me fight back at home, so to bring it back here and just to have all the local support and everyone back on home, I'm just ready to put on the show and show them what Bad News is all about.
Juan, unbeaten fighter. You're certainly taking on another unbeaten fighter. But when you look at it, you certainly haven't fought anyone that has the resume like Charles. Talk to me about this fight and what should people of Cleveland expect when you guys get in the ring.
Juan Carlos, nunca te has enfrentado, vas invicto, pero no te has enfrentado a alguien del nivel de tu oponente. ¿Qué le tienes que decir a la gente de Cleveland? ¿Qué van a ver de ti esta pelea?
No, nunca me he enfrentado a ningún oponente de buen nivel, pero vengo muy bien preparado para esta pelea. Me siento muy bien físicamente y pues voy a dar un buen espectáculo esta noche, el domingo.
It is true I haven't fought someone in this category or this level, but I feel very strong. I am very well prepared, and I'm ready for Sunday to give a great show for the people of Cleveland.
Of course, the first fight of the night. And then once we get to the pay-per-view, you're going to see the U.S. debut of Tyson Fury's younger brother, Tommy Fury. Unbeaten, 6-0. 4 knockouts. Taking on Anthony Taylor, who's making his second professional fight. Tommy, we already know what Tyson Fury is all about as a fighter. What will we learn about Tommy Fury, though, come Sunday night?
I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone turning out. Really appreciate it, guys. Love to see you all. I'm very happy to be in Cleveland. Very happy to be performing in front of all you guys. Obviously, Tyson's very familiar over here. I'm about to be very familiar over here. I'm coming with my own package, my own game, and my own man, and you're going to see that Sunday night.
Anthony, you know, Tommy's talked about his excitement making his U.S. debut. You can spoil that. And he's also talked about Jake Paul a lot. You think he's overlooking you, Anthony, at all?
Absolutely. Like, I've been telling everybody, Tommy just feels like he's flying into Cleveland, step in the ring, and faces off with Jake Paul like, hey, I'm your opponent, bro. Like, don't look down on me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm 5'7". Of course you're going to look down. But, I mean, hey, like, just because you beat up 6 bums, you ain't going to beat me up.
Tommy, give you the final word here.
I just want to say one thing. If this man thinks I've overlooked him, he's very wrong. I'm training like I've got a shot at all these belts on Sunday night. I've put myself away for 8 weeks and grilled myself to the limit. I've been to hell and back for this fight. Jake Paul doesn't come into my mind once. I've not thought about him. I don't think about him. The only man I thought about and I've been thinking about for this whole training camp is Anthony Taylor. Sunday night, I'll get the job done, and then whatever else lies ahead, we can think about them. But until then, this man's getting knocked out cold.
That's what they always say, man. I'm telling you, you're not going to touch me. You're not going to knock me out. You fought catfishes, bro. I'm not that guy. Like, you're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
What have you done? What have you done, big man? What have you done?
I fought tougher opponents. Who have you fought?
I hope your bottom of your boots is going to be sponsored because everyone's going to be looking at him about.
Paid off by Queensberry. Paid off
by Queensberry. Do you know what I say? The more they talk, yeah, the weaker they are. Talk all you want, enjoy all the limelight, lap it up, get as many deals as you said. Take all these cameras in, because I swear to God you're going to give everybody an interview in the room, 100%, because you've been after it all week. So lap it up, because after Sunday night, it's over for you. So you can be back to whatever you're doing. So enjoy all this, enjoy the cameras, lights, camera.
You're not
go
a
ahead.
theory.
I'm not going to stop you. Go ahead.
You're not cut from the same cloth. Your brother.
Here's the great thing, folks. That's what starts the night off. That starts the night off. That's the first fight you'll see on pay-per-view. Then we get into a couple of 140-pounders. And we get Cleveland's own, another one, the unbeaten contender, Montana Love. 15-0 in 1. 7 knockouts, taking on Ivan Baranchuk. 20-2. 13 knockouts. He was, of course, in the 2020 Fight of the Year. Montana, let me start with you. First time fighting here at home in a couple of years. First time really taking on a real top contender. What do you think this fight means to your career?
This fight right here means everything to my career. I'm introducing myself to the 140-pound division with this fight here, beating a ex-champion. You know, this would definitely launch me in a whole nother, category.
Ivan, only 2 losses in your career.
Yeah.
Both of them have come to southpaws. He's a southpaw. Will that be an issue for you Sunday night?
I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to fight on this show. I learned a lot after my last fight, and I will have good training camp, and I want to show you guys my version. And I need to realize everything what I did in my training camp, and I will do it.
Love it. Montana, give you last word here. What do you think folks of Cleveland and the boxing world will be saying about Montana Love after this fight?
My city, they behind me 100%. They support me 100%. They know, they know how we coming.
Yes, sir.
We training hard. We excited for this. They know. You know what I'm saying? All Jake fans gonna be my fans now.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
We do it different in Ohio. Facts.
Straight up.
The milk is different here. I'm telling you. I'm sorry, Ivan, but you're gonna feel that bone structure.
Let them know it.
The next fight, it's going to feature some heavyweights. In the U.S. debut of the UK attraction, Daniel Dubois, 16-1, 15 knockouts, but he's taken on the Sicilian Nightmare. And Joey Cusimano, 19-3. He's got 17 knockouts. And Joey, I'll start with you, my friend, because you told the Boxing News, quote, I believe it's going to be a great fight. I believe someone's going to get knocked out. You tell us why you believe someone's going to be stopped in this fight.
We're 2 big power punchers, and we're both exciting fighters. We like to fight. We like to bang. So I feel like we're going to come out, and that's what we're going to try to do. It's the heavyweight division. It only takes 1 punch.
Daniel, it's your U.S. debut. You've talked about looking great in front of the U.S. audience, what you call in impressive fashion. Your last 3 knockouts have all been in the second round. So what does impressive fashion mean to the people of the United States?
It's my U.S. debut, so I want to look good and I want to win in devastating fashion. My whole approach is seek and destroy, so it's going to be the same again. And I can't wait. This guy's right for me, and I'm ready for the fight. I can't wait.
Heavyweights. We all know what heavyweights bring. That's all action. And then we get to what Jake has now dubbed as the co-main event. And it's featuring Amanda the Real Deal Serrano, 41-1 with 30 knockouts, taking on the WBC Super Bantamweight champion, Yami Mercado. Amanda, we all know the history, the rivalry of Puerto Rico versus Mexico. You said this is the fight, though, that will steal the show. You tell us why.
First, I want to thank Showtime, Jake Paul, for believing in me and putting a female fight on your card. Sorry, you might steal the show, but
Amanda and I have a bet to see who's going to get a doper knockout.
I don't have that much money. Remember, I am a female boxer.
No, remember, the bet is like we have to jump in the ocean or something like that. Remember?
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But thank you so much for putting your faith in me, my team, for everything that they, we've been through. And Puerto Rico versus Mexico, 2 champions. Listen, these are my babies, my only babies that I have. And it's going to be very, very hard for her to beat me, for her to take these back to Mexico. She's going to go home empty-handed.
Yami, you heard that. You're coming up in weight to fight Amanda. She, without question, is a big puncher. Will your power carry up to this heavy weight and be enough to take her out? Mauricio Madero will do the translation.
Así es, estoy subiendo de categoría, sin embargo soy una de las super gallo que en complexión física soy de las más grandes, entonces no veo una desventaja al subir de peso, al contrario, voy a subir fuerte al cuadrilátero ya que no voy a sufrir un proceso ni de deshidratación ni descompensación, entonces esperamos ganar el día 29 y demostrar que no éramos una rival pequeña como muchas personas lo han dicho.
Yes, I'm coming up in weight class, but I am in super bantam. I'm one of the biggest fighters, so I'm very well prepared. I feel very strong, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win on Sunday and prove that that we're up to the challenge and that we are not as weak as some people have commented before.
Amanda, we'll wrap it up with this. You and Jake have got this bet on who's going to have the doper knockout. So what would an explosive performance do, considering there'll be so many eyeballs watching this fight? Do you think this will be the fight that will solidify you as pound for pound best female fighter in the world?
I hope so. I train every fight as if I am that, and I hope that people can, acknowledge that women are here and we're champions as well. We work just as hard. I hope that we can steal some of Jake Paul's fans and some of the young viewers to see that women boxing is awesome too. And I want to thank Yamila for taking the fight, but she's not winning.
Then we get to the main event. The problem child. Fighting in his hometown. First time as a professional fighter. 3-0. All 3 of the victories come by knockout. But he's taken on the former UFC champion. He's known as the Chosen One. Making his professional boxing debut in Tyron Woodley. Jake, is this the fight where all the naysayers, all the critics say, you know what, this cat's for real?
Yeah, 100%. Tyron Woodley, he really is the chosen one. We chose him to get his ass beat. 5-time UFC champion, explosive, knockout power. That's all cool, but none of that matters Sunday night. And I'm sending him into retirement, turning him into a meme, and people will see, oh my gosh, this kid can fight. He's got skills. He can take a punch. That gas tank is nice. That inside fighting is nice. That body work is nice. That jab is nice. That 1-2 is nice. Oh, and then he came with the overhand right. That's nice. Oh, we got a hook too. We got a check hook. Oh my God. People are going to be surprised. I haven't shown shit. I can fight southpaw too. I might come out southpaw. I haven't even shown that yet. So yeah, this is my coming out party.
Tyron, you're also making your boxing debut. You told the MMA Hour you are here to take over, and people are going to see that Jake is going to get hurt in a way we'd never even imagined. Explain that to us.
I'm almost falling asleep up here. Hello? Yeah, I'm almost falling asleep over here because it's kind of
Yeah, you're gonna be falling asleep on Sunday,
It's kind of
bitch.
disgusting. It's kind
Yeah,
of
you better sleep this whole week.
Disgusting.
Get your naps in.
It's kind of disgusting how much of a clown people feel they have to be recognized. It's disgusting how much clout people have to chase. And when you really look into what the word clout means, it's the appearance of authenticity. It's the appearance that you're the real deal. It's the appearance that you really about that action. But I'm really like that. At the end of the day, walking around looking foolish, where the fuck is your shirt at, number one? Number two, you know, you
This
can
is a
say
fight
what
game.
you want.
We're fighting on Sunday with no shirt on.
You can say what you want to say, but you do what you think you're supposed to do based upon what we've done. When I say we, I say fighters. Jumping up on the ring and screaming and yelling and doing the memes and all this other stuff, the whole money thing, the whole bling thing, that's all built to build the fight. But we here. I ain't got shit to say. You getting hurt on Sunday. And in a way you ain't never felt. All your sugarcoating ass, cheerleading ass, fucking cheerleading ass people that's around you have lied to you. They're not hurting you. They don't want to lose their bag. They're not fucking pushing you. So when you get in there Sunday, you can wear whatever you want to wear. You can come out with that dumbass robot. You can do whatever you want. You will get fucking knocked out. You can make as many bets. The only thing I bet on is myself. And I've been betting on that the whole time. So I'm just really, to be honest, sorry all the people in the media, I'm just ready to fight. I ain't got no shenanigans. I ain't got no BS. I ain't got no razzle dazzle. I should have brought my dog some dew wipes to clean himself up after I knocked the shit out of him on Sunday. That's the only thing I regret not bringing.
Is the bet still on?
It was never a bet. It was just him saying that I worship Tyron. He's a legend. I played him on a video game in career mode, and I want to get his name tattooed on me. That's all I heard. I didn't hear a bet because there's no way you fucking beat me on Sunday.
Yeah, I got a tattoo artist coming to tattoo you after I knock you out.
I wish you brought your tattoo artist because you're comfortable with them.
You shook
and
on
they've
it.
done many tattoos.
If you're a man
when
of
you
your
get
word,
I
you
love
shook on
Tyron,
it.
you don't even have to do it, Batman. Pay me a bag and I'll let you slide.
I already paid you a bag.
Pay my charity a bag and I'll let you slide.
I already paid you a bag, and yesterday we were talking
Pay
about,
me another
this
bag.
kid doesn't, he's not real.
Well, pay me another bag and pay the reporters a bag too. They need more money. Pay them a bag.
I paid you
since
4
you doing
times
GoFundMe
more than
accounts.
you've ever been paid.
Since you doing
I paid you
GoFundMe
4
accounts.
times more than you've ever been paid.
Pay all the
So
reporters
you should be
double what they
thanking me.
making.
You should be thanking me, son.
I'm gonna thank you by punching you in the fucking
Kiss the
throat.
ring, son.
There are going to be a number of media members here who have questions for you, but I'll wrap it up with this, and it's for both of you. I'll start with you, Tyron. For the people who are going to buy this pay-per-view, for the people who are going to come out to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, what can you guarantee them that they are going to see Sunday night?
It's time to go big. All aspects, all categories. I'm going crazy. You know me, at the end of the day, it's been a long time coming. I'm blessed for the moment, blessed for the opportunity, thankful for the coaches in my corner, the people that surrounded me. I'm thankful for the haters. I'm thankful for the people that counted me out because all it was just for me reassuring. Anytime you get adversity, anytime you get the BS and all the people that are coming against you, that tells you that it's so much power for what you're about to do. And I'm about to make a scene on Sunday.
Jake, same question. For the people who are going to buy this pay-per-view, they're going to come out to the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. What can you guarantee them on Sunday night?
Look, another show, another masterful performance, a boxing clinic. You know, people know how I'm coming. 3-0, 3 KOs, that's for a reason. I didn't even get warmed up in my last fight, so this guy's going to go to sleep. And he's going to get it turned into another meme, like I said, just like his best friend, his little guy, Ben Askren, who he was in the corner of, turned him into a meme, ended his career. After Sunday, no one ever is going to talk about this guy. No one's ever going to talk about this guy ever again. He's a speed bump in the road of the Jake Paul career. He's a body.
You a dingleberry, I'm about to knock the shit out of, so.
He is a body that I am using
You a
to
clown,
add
dude.
content to my highlight reel.
Look at you. You a clown, man. You a clown.
I know there are members of the media.
Your crew a clown, too.
Who have questions. We have a mic. We just ask that you identify yourself and ask your question.
This is Keith Heidick from BoxingScene.com. My question is for Jake. Jake, how much of a step up do you feel that Tyron Woodley is for you in your 4th fight?
You know, it's a big step up. I mean, there's no other fighter at 4 or 3-0 who's taking fights against, world champions. I want challenges. I want to push myself. If I'm in training camp, and I know I'm going to beat somebody, I'm not motivated. So I like stepping into the unknown. I like pushing myself, and that's what this fight is about. You know, this is a test. You know, I expect him to come out sharp. He looks like he's in shape. He's got the coaches doing the whole spiel, the whole shebang. So this is going to be a fun one.
Hey, everyone. How's it going? Ellie Sekbeck, ES News. Jake, you had camps at Big Bear, Vegas, and now Puerto Rico. What was different about this camp versus the other camps?
I think isolation creates perfection. And when there's no distractions to the, you know, highest level, not one person in the way of your goal. When you have a one-pointed attention, there's nothing more powerful. And Puerto Rico is amazing. Training in that heat, that humidity, it prepared me. It got my cardio on a whole nother level because there's nothing else like that. Training in Big Bear high altitude, it's hard to breathe, but it's almost harder to breathe in Puerto Rico.
Fighter.
You know, I think, you know, in general in combat sports, you start seeing one person do something and it looks cool or it look like, you know, it was a bag behind it and people start to replicate it. The thing about this fight, it's a fight. It's not the YouTuber versus the TikToker versus this versus that. This is a real fight. You know what I mean? If you look at the way that we're even just built and you look at the determination, this is a fight. And some people before was brainwashed and they was tricked into a point of taking it lightly. And I feel like that's why they came up short. To the first day we signed it, even before we signed it, I was jogging, I was getting ready because I didn't know if it was going to be a fight. It was always a fight. And for me, being able to train and being able to have just the fun again and the passion behind it and being pressed in a different way made it great. So I can't really speak for everybody, but I feel like this fight in particular is the only one of this new sizzle realm of, you know, the entertainment aspect really exploding in combat sport. That's a real fucking fight as well.
Question for Jake. Jake right here. When you decided to fight Tyron, is there truly bad blood between you and him, or is there some level of respect of what he's accomplished in the UFC and this is just a lot of talk?
Nah, I mean, there's no real respect. You know, I'm going to show on Sunday that getting a UFC championship doesn't mean shit in the world of boxing, to be honest. So I don't respect what he's done at all.
You just said you did 2 seconds ago.
And to be honest,
fucking clown.
to be honest, it started in the locker room with the Ben Askren fight. You know, after he got choked out in the first round, I told him, I said, you and your best friend are going to have a lot in common after tonight. You both got finished in the first round.
You remember what I told you?
And that's really where it started.
You remember what I told you?
I don't. I was knocking out your friend and focused on that. Do you want to tell everyone what you told me, buddy?
I don't need to. I'm going to show you on Sunday.
Follow-up question for Tyron. Do you feel like you're being overlooked in some aspects because of how the UFC career ended and how Jake is kind of talking to you? Do you feel like people have underestimated what you're going to bring to the ring on Sunday?
We saying talking, right? He ain't showed me shit yet. So at the end of the day, I don't feel like I've been underestimated. I feel like the real recognize real. Anybody that has a flicker in their bone or old school that really can just, you know, say what they really believe and not what they think sounds cool. Anybody who can really see the training, the mindset, the intensity that I've been putting in this camp.
You got like 3 different coaches. Floyd Mayweather did one workout with you, and we haven't heard from him since. So I think he knows something that we don't know.
Back to what I was saying, because I don't even know what that pig Latin was. But at the end of the day, I don't really get into what people say because I'm out to say anything. I'm about action.
Jake, over here. Over here, sir. You are young. You are rich. You're admired by millions of people around the world. You are relatively charming, relatively handsome. Why is it that so many people around the world want to see you not only lose, but be embarrassed and sent to that place where time doesn't exist? Why is that?
Well, I think just going off of what you're saying, jealousy is one of the biggest evils in this world. And I think there's a lot of people that are jealous that don't think I deserve to be in this spot, that wish they could be here. And I'm polarizing. I get it. You know, I'm loud. I do stupid shit. I go to press conferences with my shirt off because I don't give a fuck what people think. And most people aren't like that. They hold what's inside their mouths. They, are scared to rub people the wrong way. I don't give a shit. No, the haters don't sign my paycheck. I do. So, that's why people don't like me. That's why some people want to see me lose. They think this is a circus. They don't think this is good for boxing. Well, guess what? It is. I'm here to stay, and I'm going to knock out this fucking guy and move on to the next one. I am overlooking Tyron Woodley. Most people sit up here like Fury, and he's like, oh, I have a tough opponent. No. When I know what's going to happen, when I'm confident in my skill, I'm already thinking about the next opponent.
Based on 3
Why
fights.
do you think this guy's sitting right behind me right now?
Well,
When you know what's going to happen,
Your
you're
time
confident
is
in your
coming, pal.
preparation.
Don't mention
When you
my
know-
name out of that garbage mouth of yours.
When you know what's going to happen, it's easy. This is an easy sport.
Why would you not buy and come out to this fight? And it goes down this Sunday, August 29th. It is 8 p.m. That is 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 Eastern, Showtime, pay-per-view. You can purchase the fight right now, Showtime.com, through the Showtime app, all the major cable satellite providers, or you can go ahead and purchase your tickets right now, RocketMortgageFieldHouse.com. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for all of those who are going to support this fight. Gentlemen, we're going to have some face-offs here.
About to go down.
Okay, and face out. Cameras in the back. Okay, Amanda. Thank you, guys. Stand by. We'll do a group shot at the end. All right, we got Tommy. Come on down.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Hey, can I get a stool? You just hang out.
Oh,
Right,
pretty big. You're going to go right here, guys.
Right up here, Connie.
Right here.
Right, face out. Face out, gentlemen. Okay, Mike.
Face the cameras in the back of the room, please.
All right, next. Thanks, fellas. Come on. Come on, next. Thank you, Tommy. Come on. Come on down. Come on, Montana.
You're a fairy. Tommy Ferry. You're a catfish. You're a catfish. You're never going to. This is the last time you're going to see Jake Paul. You'll never step in America after I finish with you.
Okay, gentlemen, face out. All right, thank you very much. Stand by for a quick shot, boys. See the heavyweights? Right down in front. Perfect. Thanks, fellas. Perfect, guys. 3, 2, 1, face out. Okay, thank you. Champ versus champ. Right up front, ladies.
Okay. Yep.
Let's go.
Big zombie space, right? All right, guys, we're gonna do a group shot.
Yeah,
You
but
still want to step down? We do the whole pair. He wants to do one.
That's it, guys.
We're gonna do a group shot, guys. We're gonna do a group shot down here. Yeah, I mean, step down. Same order. We'll just work out. Down the left. They look like a down the street. Just seconds. Right here. You're gonna go right there. Montana, you'll go right after Giuseppe. And then where's Anthony Taylor? Oh, you're good. There you go. And then oh, right here. Man.
All right, here we are. Luke
Tensions.
Thomas, Brian Campbell. The press conference is technically over, BC, but there is still, you can see a little bit of heat behind us. And actually just over to the right of us, you can't see it quite on camera, I'm not sure, is Tyron Woodley's mother, who is sparring verbally with members of Jake Paul's team. In fact, yeah, you can see right behind us here.
Tyron Woodley right over our shoulder. He's got beef with the opposing camp here. Things are heating up inside the crowd. We expect them to heat up inside the ring, of course, on Sunday night. You saw and heard
Oh, now they're fighting
intensity
actually just to the right of us here. Hang on a second.
of this matchup. Cheers have fallen down, trying to keep cooler heads, keep everyone safe. But the bad blood's real, and this will be a real fight come Sunday night. Security filing in to sort this thing out.
Police are here, actually, just to the right of me. If you want to put the camera on here for just a second. Tyron is upset because people are going at, or at least verbally sparring with his mom, who is actually quite a nice lady.
A real sweetheart, but very vocally in support of her son.
Yeah, she's obviously the #1 cheerleader, and it does look like security is here, and it does look like it's going to be calmed down, but that got a little dicey there for a moment.
I mean, you heard the trash talk between them. There's a lack of respect for experience, for toughness, and that's coming out right now.
Actually, it's not calming down at all.
No, it's coming out. And as you can see right there also, Jordan Maldonado, the trainer and manager of Amanda Serrano, is also in the midst of it at the moment here.
I'm not exactly sure what started it. Just as the press conference face-offs were ending, to the right of me, and our backs are to the stage, I heard, and I just tweeted, Tyron Woodley's mother was verbally sparring with members of Jake Paul's camp. Jake Paul's entourage, there's 20, 30 guys deeper. You can see them in the orange here in various places throughout the concourse and the ballroom. And it just kind of escalated from there. I don't know exactly what the source of it is. Jake Paul appears to be far away from it. There you can see Tyron Woodley's mom.
They're trying to separate the two.
I just heard Tyron say he's demanding an effing apology. I'm not sure from who here. Boy, he is animated. He is animated.
We've got police, we've got security for the event. It seems to be calming down, although Tyron Woodley
is walking away. Tyron's now to our left. He is walking away. Yeah, I guess he's upset that they got in his mom's face. There she is right behind us. You can see her just behind us. Tyron Woodley's mother.
Certainly this
this got a
this
little
personal
bit
grudge
hairy.
has gone to a next level ahead of this fight Sunday night. Showtime pay-per-view, 8 p.m. Eastern when this 5-fight pay-per-view main card kicks off for all things Paul
Yeah,
Woodley.
it looks to me like everything was fun and games until they got in his mom's face.
Well, you can
And at that point, I guess Tyron wasn't having it. It's okay. He can walk through. It's okay.
Tyron Woodley cuts right in front of us.
It's okay. Just let them go through because they're not on us anyway here. Thank you, Courtney. Guys, we're on camera here. Go ahead.
Chaos ensuing here as we start to sort all of this out.
Okay.
Our takeaway, Luke, as cooler heads ultimately did prevail. Apologies, of course, to anyone caught in the crossfire there, but it's a real fight, Luke, and we're going to see Sunday night. While the resumes of both in the pure boxing professional sense have been mixed, have been anything but real. The beef is real. The preparation for a real fight is real. Luke, how much do you think all of this chatter...
Hold on. It's not over yet.
No,
they're still going after it right over here, just to my right.
Members of the
You know what? They
extended
need to
teams.
clear the room. Can I be honest about this? The security needs to clear the room. And, BC, back in a different part of my life, I was a bouncer in New York
if
City.
you don't
This
mind,
is a true
just,
story.
If you can bar back the tables over there and then kind of
Yeah.
clean this area up and then maybe get me
True story. If you're actually working security at a bar, the number one thing they tell you is to get everyone out who's
Get
involved.
everyone out. Lou DiBella here, the promoter of Amanda Serrano. If you can step in and clear that. Tensions remain high, Luke. I did want to ask you, though, as they clean this up, what role does this play into Sunday night's fight?
Well, I was going to say this was something of a testy press conference, at least from Jake. It actually broke my heart a little bit. I'm not rooting for Jake. I'm not rooting for Tyron. But Tyron was a very decorated UFC champion. He's one of the best welterweight champions we've ever had, which, again, is one of the more marquee divisions. And his career to just get slandered in the way that he was. He was playing it nonchalant. But honestly, it's hard for me to believe he wasn't taking some of that to heart, at least or offense anyway. Not that he was believing it per se. And then for his mom to get involved, it set him off.
That could take the drama, the heat, if you will, inside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on Sunday night. That can certainly add to what we're already going to see, which are two hungry fighters looking to make a statement, looking to prove something. Now it's gotten a lot more personal. But that's, Luke, as you look at our sponsor, Barstool Sportsbook, that's why those odds have been so close, because it's what we don't know about each fighter in a professional boxing sense that makes this matchup so interesting.
Right, look at the odds.
You see the current update from Barstool Sportsbook, minus 190, Jake Paul, your betting favorite, but Tyron Woodley at plus 155 is a lot more than a puncher's chance in the idea of who's going to win this fight, Luke.
No doubt about it. If you want to get more information about these odds and everything else that the Barstool Sportsbook has to offer, get the app, the Barstool Sportsbook app. It is available right now in your app store, whether you have an iPhone or an Android. Go and check that out. As you can see, the odds kind of narrowing a little bit. Boy, I have to tell you, Jake Paul was saying, I want to be clear, Jake Paul was not the one having words with Tyron with his mother.
His extended team.
It's his extended team, and that could be trainers. It looks like there's some friends, and it's hard to know exactly who was doing what. I guess we'll figure this out as time goes on. But I got to say, if it wasn't personal before, BC, it's personal now.
No question about it. Yeah, I mean, what do we always have a rule on the playground even? Any joke but a mom joke, right? I mean, this is taking it certainly from a personal standpoint to the next level. It does make you wonder, does that mean more fireworks on Saturday? Does that mean Tyron Woodley can get off his game plan? You said coming in, what would be the potential mind game that each of these fighters used this media event to plan? I'm not saying this was a planned mind game from Jake Paul against Tyron Woodley, but this has an opportunity to change the demeanor that Woodley could bring into this matchup on Sunday. For better or worse, we're not going to know, Luke, but a very interesting set of events. It got personal. There's no question.
It didn't affect Jake, but it did affect Tyron. All right, well, that is it for us. That's Brian Campbell. I'm Luke Thomas. We're the hosts of Morning Combat. You can check us out, youtube.com/Morning Combat, combat with a K. We are done for today here for the presser.
But if you want more breakdown on Paul Woodley Fight Week today, this is Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Morning Combat channel on YouTube. We will continue this conversation, sort out the themes, the narratives, the feeling from Fight Week as it all points toward that Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Cannot wait, Luke Thomas, after seeing this.
Not at all. You can see us. You can follow us there below. Again, Morning Combat will be on YouTube at 5 p.m. today. And until then, if you don't see us for today's show, we will catch you at the weigh-ins. For Brian Campbell, I'm Luke Thomas. We'll see you guys later.
We are here at the Paul versus Woodley Open Workouts here in downtown Cleveland.
Just days out from the fight when the unbeaten Jake Paul takes on former UFC welterweight champ Tyron Woodley.
This is not an exhibition. This is a pro boxing contest.
Bigger, younger, stronger in Jake, but Tyron's got some of those things that you can't learn with Jake.
Tyron, the chosen one. You've said this out loud. People are coming up to you saying you got to knock this guy out.
This is a war to me. This is gang shit.
3-0 with 3 knockouts.
The problem child. Yeah.
When I beat him, there will be no excuses because he was trained by Floyd Mayweather.
This Sunday night, August 29th, only on Showtime pay-per-view.
You should expect violence.
A movie, a knockout.
I'm going out there to hurt this kid.
I'm going to turn him into a meme.
Every punch, violence.